Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and of course, highly debated game is Green Bay and Arizona. What to make of Green Bay? Are they back after playing well for 3 quarters last week or not? We are going to talk with Joe Duffy from offshoreinsiders.com to get his opinion on this game and that subject. Joe Duffy, right now the line is Arizona -7 across the board. The total is also 50 across the board, except for the Greek hanging 49.5. And the big question is, Green Bay, so many issues down the stretch of the regular season, looked awful in the first quarter last week, then looked great for 3 quarters. After that, question is, are they back? If so, are they back enough to cover a 7-point spread? I haven't bet this game yet, but my sense as of right now is that the answer to that question should be no, and I would bet on Arizona -7 if I had to make a bet right now. What do you think, Joe?
I do think most of the public's going to be going with Arizona. Of course, the playoffs are the one and only time that the public does bet underdog, so it's not like, I'm stating the obvious. During the regular season, in most cases, that would be. But remember, we told you last week when we were previewing the Packers game that we do have an angle that says that when that colder teams are actually a pretty good play in the playoffs. We have one based on the last 10 games. When one team is at least 8-2 straight up and the other team is 500 or less, the colder team is 7-3-2 under those circumstances. That would benefit the Packers. But all in all, I think the play here is to go with the over. Look, Aaron Rodgers, I think I even said, last week, and I did say in the analysis because I had Green Bay and the over as premium plays, that you can count out Aaron Rodgers at your own risk. He is more than capable of turning it on, and he certainly showed that. Now, granted, he wasn't in the first quarter, but Aaron Rodgers is a big-time quarterback, except Arizona, I think their offense is really underrated. People like me, I had been a long-time critic of Carson Palmer, but I always let the facts guide my agenda, not vice versa. He's probably the all-time poster child for a late bloomer. He is one of the premier quarterbacks in the league. I think people don't realize how good of an offense Arizona has. They average 30.6 points per game. The team's normally permitting just 22.2, and that includes 8.2 yards per pass to 6.4. So this is a battle of two spectacular quarterbacks. I think we're going to see a high-scoring game. I know the total's pretty high, but the over is a very solid play here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Joe, the total's interesting. I have heard opinions I respect on both sides of that issue. My sense is, though, that it might be a little bit too high. The Greek is hanging 49.5 right now, which indicates that they would have a lean to the under. And we know that, Green Bay had a lot of success with the running game last game. They played up-tempo, but it was still a run-based game. And I don't know, my sense is that just the 50 is a little bit too high. I could see, Arizona getting like a 10-point win with the final score, 48-49, something like that. I feel like my leans would be to the under and a little bit stronger to Arizona. But you like the over, or is it just like a very small lean, or do you think it's actually a decent play with value?
I have not released a premium play on that yet, so I think it's of pretty good value. I know a lot of sharps go more towards the pinnacle lean. I haven't really asked them about the Greek lean, but you're right that 50 can be as close to a key number as you're going to get when it comes to totals. So I can kind of understand that. Like I said, I'm not completely in love with it, but I think Eddie Lacy, he was an underachiever. He seemed to wake up last week. That's good to keep the offense balanced. But I still think all in all, Green Bay, they may actually have to air the ball out whether they want to or not, because Arizona can score as well.
All right, Joe Duffy. Well, we got to give a pick on this game just for our viewers. If you want to pass, I would go with Arizona -7. But if you want to give the over 50, you're certainly welcome to do that.
Yeah, I'll give the over 50.
All right, over 50. Okay. I haven't bet this game one way or the other yet. Joe Duffy going official with the over 50. My lean is to Arizona -7. Joe Duffy, tell us about offshoreinsiders.com.
We did. In fact, as we were getting ready to do this video, we do have a couple of wise guy plays already up for the NFL this weekend, and one wise guy and one major play for the NFL playoffs this weekend. But keep visiting, by the way. Nice basketball runs are on. Just visit us every single day before you place a bet at offshoreinsiders.com.